The year is 1889. Two white businessmen, Chris Rutt and Charles Underwood, invent a new pancake mix in St. Joseph, Missouri. But they need a way to sell it. Something recognizable. Something comforting. Something Southern. They borrow the name Aunt Jemima from a minstrel show tune, a popular song performed by white men in blackface. That song romanticized the mammy figure, the loyal, motherly, often overweight black woman who worked for white families during and after slavery. This wasn't just a name. It was a strategy. The brand image was built to make white Americans nostalgic for the plantation era, a time when slaves cared for white households, cooked their meals, and smiled while doing it. This image made white consumers feel good. That was the goal. In 1890, the R.T. Davis Milling Company bought the Aunt Jemima brand and needed a face to bring her to life. Enter Nancy Green, a real woman born into slavery in Kentucky in 1834. She was a cook, a storyteller, a churchgoer, and in 1893, she was hired to portray Aunt Jemima at the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago. She served pancakes, told stories, sang songs, and drew huge crowds. Nancy Green became the first black corporate model in American history. But here's the catch: she never owned her image. She was paid a modest salary. Her name was never printed on the packaging. No royalties. No recognition. To millions of Americans, she was Aunt Jemima. But to the corporations, she was just the help. As the brand grew, Nancy Green faded into history. Her name was forgotten, but her face, or rather, the caricature of her face, was used for over a century. The marketing expanded. Radio jingles, posters, commercials, cookbooks, all centered around the smiling, obedient mammy who made the best pancakes. The character evolved over the decades. She lost her headscarf, slimmed down a bit, but she remained a symbol of servitude. Black Americans protested as early as the 1960s. Civil rights groups called for the image to be retired. But the company, now owned by Quaker Oats, ignored the calls. Aunt Jemima was too profitable. For many white Americans, she was just a comforting figure from childhood. For Black Americans, she was a haunting reminder of the country's brutal racial history, one that was never truly addressed. Let's pause for a moment. How does something like this last so long? The answer lies in American culture itself, where brands often recycle racism and wrap it in nostalgia. Characters like Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, and the cream of wheat chef became marketing tools based on stereotypes. For over 130 years, white America accepted Aunt Jemima as part of breakfast. Meanwhile, Black Americans were fighting to dismantle the very symbols that made white people feel comfortable. This wasn't just about a syrup bottle. It was about the erasure of black voices, the misuse of black images, and the exploitation of black labor for corporate gain. Everything changed in 2020. The murder of George Floyd sparked global protests. Suddenly, companies faced a reckoning. No more silence. No more excuses. Under intense public pressure, Quaker Oats, a subsidiary of PepsiCo, announced it would retire the Aunt Jemima brand. In June 2021, the company officially rebranded the product as Pearl Milling Company, named after the original mill where the pancake mix was first made. They removed the imagery, updated the logo, and released statements acknowledging the racist roots of the original brand. It was a small step, but a significant one. So what do we do with this history? We remember Nancy Green, not just as Aunt Jemima, but as a real woman, a formerly enslaved person who became a community leader in Chicago, who gave back, who never saw wealth or recognition, despite her face being one of the most recognized in America. We examine the way we allow racist imagery to exist in everyday life, hidden behind nostalgia and branding. And we ask the tough questions. Who gets to profit from black labor? Who controls the narrative? And what does it mean to truly reckon with the past? The Aunt Jemima story isn't just about syrup. It's about America's uncomfortable relationship with race, memory, and capitalism. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into the past. Let me know in the comments what city or topic you'd like me to cover next. Until next time, stay curious and stay strong. Make sure you subscribe.